What's up everyone, this is ScherBR talking, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am here to talk about the two announcements that we got, actually three. Two banners, the first one Romancing Festival Rio Queen from Romancing SaGa 2, and then we got a SaGa Soul banner with three different styles. Alongside those two banners we have the new event called SaGa The Stage Box Surface Depths. This is probably a gacha inside a gacha. The HP cap's the same as the last event, that being 1980s, because it's always 10 more than the game shows. So we'll also be able to get S styles, equipments, and even promotion scrolls. That is actually pretty good. Now, double banners, yeah, we were expecting for Halloween. I guess they didn't release because we were supposed to have those two. These two banners are not that popular on JP. SaGa Soul banners are always very experimental, I believe. So the Romancing Festival Rio Queen has at least Dantarg that is very powerful. We can compare him to Alosis in a way. But the other characters are not that interesting, and we already got the information, so this video will contain a preview too. But we'll have to wait till tomorrow to see more information about the Seki Sushai banner. So now we are on a Reddit post by Hans43, and thank you so much for doing this amazing job as always. Here we have a translation of the Taiwanese video comparing to the JP info of the styles, so we can understand if they are much better or not. Well, Rio Queen is a martial artist attacker. She uses STR and agility for accuracy and damage, but she also has pretty high intelligence because she wants to be a debuffer and also inflict charm, so we got buffs to these two status. At least we got a little more damage by increasing agility and evasion chances. The Rio Queen has a very strange type of passive. Well, first of all, she gets 5% buff to all status. That's not much, but it's for all of it. And she also gets 1 BP in odd turns and recovers HP on even turns. That's because she has 9 repeat cycles, and that makes sense because of the skills she has. Then she also has high protect tension, decreasing damage by 30% and increasing her damage by 20. So her endurance and will are actually pretty bad, so that helps her receive less damage at least. See, when you open the fight, you choose between skill number 2 or 3. One is a double S power attack with Paralyzing Charm. The other one is an AoE attack with B power and has fast and medium chance to stun. Well, she's competing against Shira on this regard, but Shira with her newest style can even stun 2 times if you have the inheritance. In her case, she won't. She will be able to use it on turn 3, but then after that, it's just that cycle I explained it, every 2 turns, and she can even cycle skill number 1 because it's 0 BP and it gives her guard up to receive even less damage. Well, the damage here is not that good, she's more for the effects, and sadly, we do have plenty of inflictors for paralyze and stun in the game. Charm is a little more here, but I do believe that we just got plenty. Even J-Mew will be able to charm, but then you may be thinking about Remembrance. In Remembrance, there will be a next boss that can be inflicted with Charm and Confusion, but still, we'll find others in the martial arts type, so that's not so unique, and I don't think she offers too much for veterans or even newcomers, only those that like the character itself. Now, moving on, we have Dantarg, and he got buffed for agility. He is a damage dealer that uses spears and has 105% agility. This is insane. Will help him use his rotation. He got a little more will, but he's not exactly the best character to use in boss fight, so I don't know why they buffed this instead of giving even more STR. But so, we get 10% increase in damage and 2 BP on the start of a fight, then we get 50% increase in damage on the start of a round, yes, for only 1 turn, so he is more made for farming. Boss fights turn 2 disappears. And then high protect tension just like the Rio Queen, so that means that he receives 30% less damage. Then, yeah, for physical he takes pretty low damage and increases damage by 20, so in the end he gets 80% damage increase, pretty similar to Alosis. Yes, and Alosis was very useful to this point and will keep being because he can rotate very powerful attacks when he kills. But Dantarg has the strongest turn 1 attack for roll damage in the game so far, well, because it is a deep power attack for Pierce and Heat, and then he grants morale up of 40% increase for 5 turns and then activate this double S power attack. Because he is buffing before he attacks and there is a D power and then a double S power attack, this is like very close to 4S damage on turn 1 for a row. Yeah, if you consider it for just single target damage, it's strong enough. But if you consider it for row, it's explosive and will be very strong for the foreseeable future. Besides this very powerful attack, he has a 0 AP attack that grants him guard up so that he can keep using it, receive less damage till he can explode again. He's going to be extremely useful in the next Remembrance battle where the enemies are aligned in a row, and for farming when there is only one wave or two, he will be able to clear one wave and then you may use someone else for the second, for example, but as a row he keeps being relevant. Very strong character. There is also this other skill, the second one, that's just like Primero attack. He can use it 3 times in a row for farming story or event. It's strong because of his damage passives, but it's not that important since we are moving for powerful attacks instead of using C damage usually. Although with the STR and passives, he's going to do very good damage, but we'll also need help for at least one other character in order to clear waves. Then moving up, we have Kazinsi, and this one is a hybrid sword user that uses shadow elements. His damage potential is pretty restricted. He wants to focus on too many things, and that's why he suffers so much. Look at the will and endurance of this character, and even dexterity. He needs dexterity for accuracy on sword attacks, and he needs agility and intelligence for accuracy on spell-based attacks. He's just going to get a lot of damage, sadly. He has high battle tension instead of high protect tension, so you will know that this guy will not be able to survive for long. The first passive, he has a 37% chance to decrease the enemy's will by attacking, and also recovers 2 BP with the same chance, 37%. So pretty strange, 2 things that relies on RNG with different triggers. The second one, when being attacked, he decreases damage by a margin and then has 37% chance to counter. With skill number 3. Skill number 3 is actually pretty strong. Well, we do have characters with passives that counter like this, especially Gustav, and he counters with an attack that can even buff. In this case, Kazinsi will just have a chance to grant instant kill, will recover his HP by around 1000, another BP when the attack lands, and it's triple S power, but only shadow. There's no slash in this case. It's pretty strong. The reason why it's not that important is because it's shadow, so the less strong attack when using it against bosses. Bosses usually are not weak to shadow, but you find some here and there, and because he recovers 1 BP, that means that he can kinda use this more often if he gets to trigger many times, but still 37% chance to trigger it as a passive, and you need to place it in a position where he gets attacked for it to trigger, and he does not even resist damage, so pretty hard to play around this mechanic, but at least you can still use it as a skill, an active one, when you need to heal and that do damage. The second attack is pretty strange. It's one that he stole from Ludwig, so all surviving allies will take damage, and he uses a single target attack and then follows up by Shadow Bolt Plus. Has a chance to stun. Because his intelligence is actually pretty high, he does have good chance to keep stunning enemies, but then why? 5 EP for this, and he's not exactly that strong of a damage dealer anyway. The first skill has a chance to instant kill and recover his HP. It's the cheapest one in the game with only 1 BP, but the applications are extremely limited since it's single target and then doesn't do much damage. If it's not instant killing, why are you using? Well, I don't think Kzinssie is a reliable character for the future, because he just takes too much damage. The future has many characters with high protect tension, R-wall, defense, and then they will sustain against hard challenges. With that said, I do believe that Dantarg is pretty okay. He will be super strong when farming, maybe not as strong when using in boss fights, but at least in Remembrance he has a place because of such a high power, and if you don't have Alosis, he kind of has more reason to be on your party because of the rotations of weak attacks. With that said, none of these characters are mandatory or anything special. This banner is a Bronze Award banner. I will make a full review comparing all the different styles to the ones that we are using, so that you can decide if you want to sumo or not. There's yet another banner, and when we get info, I'll be here again to explain it more. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to support the channel, click the links in the description. I hope to see you soon in the next one. Bye.